Patreon.com fighting words, love the boys, support the boys, and the only way to really do that is to give them money. And when I say the boys, that's myself, that's Sammy J, and that's Jesse Page, who is MIA but also not really MIA. It's just what Jesse does, right? He has lulls, he picks up, he drops down, he comes in again. He'll be on the stream on the 15th to watch Big Steve bash out this Ignatius geezer and Josh Kelly and Troy Williamson, etc., etc. I look like I've had a fight with a vampire. Look, really,
you look like you've lost a fight to a vampire.
Yeah, I know. I was Team Jacob. It all went wrong. I am adamant. I need the wisdom tooth taken out, and I think that this is the product of the wisdom tooth. It's gross, and I'm very unhappy about it. To be honest, I've never been one to tolerate blemishes that much because obviously, you know what I mean, nah. Anyway, shout out xbane.co.uk for all of your supplementation needs from our Viking brothers from Norway. Enter promo code Fighting Words to save 20% off any and all X-Brain related products at checkout. And shout out to Market Squawk, powered by livesquawk.co.uk. Come and go as you please. Low latency data provider. Any asset class is there. You want all the news feeds, Reuters, Bloomberg, anything, they've got it covered. And as I say, it's come and go. It's pay as you go. And yeah. Market Squawk, powered by Live Squawk. And also there's an event coming up at the Excel hosted by Noble Arts. So if you are a white collar bad man and you fancy actually doing a white collar on the 13th of August, check out Noble Arts at Noble Arts on Instagram. Anywho, as a weird to Sammy J, this is Balls 190. How about that? Here we are.
We're getting there, aren't we? We're close to the 200.
Close to the twos. It was a decent weekend this weekend, honestly.
Yeah, there was a lot going on this weekend. It just wasn't really high profile shows.
Wasn't high profile, and I probably did sit on the couch and drink on my own watching the fights a little bit, and that's okay. That's fine. There was no one that wanted to spend time with me, and that's good. It's good to have self time.
If I wasn't on the other side of the country, I would have been.
I know. I mean, when one is a reflection of the divine creator, that's what happens. You know, sometimes your vibe is just too much for other people and you have to sit on your own. But I would you've actually produced immense notes. And
I've actually done my job for once.
No, it's not your job. You've gone above and beyond. It's our job to do this. And this is what we're going to do going forward. But let's go immediately. Main event of that DAZN card. DAZN for me was the superior card of the weekend, right? Now, are we catering to the algo ever so slightly? Maybe, whatever. Okay. Dalton Smith is something special. Okay.
Oh, 100%.
He really is. That was a highlight reel KO, but I think it was round one. Maxwell tried to tie him up, and the spite and the venom that come out of Dalton, he grabbed him. He was roughing up Billy. Billy's our boy, but he was roughing him up big. He's suplexed him at one point. It was naughty. Dalton Smith is an animal. And I am very interested to see where he goes because as it stands now, I can see him competing very quickly at top flight at 140.
Oh, 100%. I mean, he's easily one of Britain's top prospects at the moment, if not the top prospect.
See, now, I think that you've exceeded prospect when you've won the British title, and he's won it outright now.
Yeah,
this is no small feat. If you look at the list of fighters that have won that Lonsdale 140 belt outright, it's killers, absolute killers. He is something special, and it's a great signing to have kept him on DAZN. I know that Sky really, really went after him. But the long and short of it is that Dalton is going places, and Dalton is a AAA blue chip British talent.
He's just going to keep collecting belts now, isn't he? He's just going to keep going up.
Yeah, they need to line him up with the European, get that out the way, and then start really lining him up now to bring in some pretty significant silverware back to the UK because 140 was always a very British heavy division. I mean, to be fair, up until Josh Taylor was undisputed until about 3 weeks ago, wasn't he? You know what I mean? I know, relinquished belts and stuff, but it's always been a very British division. But, like I say, really good card. Hope your price looked good. I'm going to blitz through the DAZN one, right? Because the star of that show was the main event.
it was a next gen card, wasn't it? But
Yeah.
one thing that was great about it, which I think we've been calling for a lot, is there were I think 3 fights. I think Lewis Vesta's fight as well. All 3 of them fought undefeated fighters, or close
Yes.
to undefeated fighters. Junaid fought someone who was I think 11-0-1.
Hmm.
Beat him. He's now 6-0 with 5 knockouts, and I think he's the same age as me.
Special shout out to our boy Nico. Right, Nico
Yes.
was on, when Nico was on before the bell. He was fighting someone that was awkward and tricky. Nico shut down shop. He absolutely bossed it. And my favourite part about it is that he was so F-bomby in the post-fight interview. It was lol. He did not give any Fs whatsoever, because we're still very early on in the pod. So we can't say that because it will anyway. But he didn't care.
Well, he's
right?
part. I think everyone that trains at that gym doesn't really care, do they?
No,
They all
really
love
don't.
it.
Yeah. And it was good to see Sonny in there. Like Sonny pundit
Yeah.
in. I liked a lot that Tony Bellew basically referred to Sonny as probably the premier British fighter, and he is. And it's good that we're now
It's
trying
good that
to.
he got a lot more respect after the post punditry of his last fight.
Yeah, exactly. They were a little bit rude, honestly, but
Yeah,
whatever.
it's what it is.
But no, what we got? So Pat McCormack, he looked good. The Sylvester fight was really good. I really enjoyed that. It was like just a quality clash, and I thought that they were going to give it to what is his copy, whatever his name is. Sylvester. I thought that Sylvester was going to take a little bit of a naughty, tight decision there, but nah, he done well there. I was really pleased for him.
Yeah,
Good.
it's a good card. I mean, DAZN had what four prospects on the card leading up to the Dalton fight. All of them undefeated fighters. All of them have got a good KO record, and they all went out and they added another win to their belt. So I think it's a good night for Eddie. It really is a good night for Eddie.
Great night for Eddie, and to be fair, that's how he's made his bread and butter. But like Janae looked good. Everyone on that card looked good, but they were all good fights. There wasn't any like.
It was competitive. It was competitive.
Yeah, exactly. Good card. Shall we switch immediately and robustly to boxer? Which
Yeah.
all right. Congratulations to Savannah Marshall, undisputed super middleweight champion. You deserve it. You are a star. You are a absolutely quality fighter. I love your style. I think you're amazing as a person. Every single thing about it. Bit of a snoozer though, isn't it?
The thing that was weird for me because Savannah was the B side, wasn't she, going into that
She was
fight?
a challenger, challenger.
Yeah, that Cruz had like the majority of the belts and that, but the whole week and like afterwards as well, it was just like Cruz was happy to be there. It was like she was it was like someone had brought her like the journeyman that come in, they just do the show and then move on. It felt a bit like that. It felt like she was just really happy to be there. Even afterwards, when they were doing a team photo, she got involved.
She got in, yeah.
And
after
then,
you've just taken an L.
Yeah, and in the interviews afterwards, she was just like, it was great to come over to the UK and fight, blah, blah, blah. But it just felt like she didn't feel like a champion. She felt like she was a stand-in, almost.
I mean, she was the champion, but you got to remember that, right, so on a complete tangent side quest, right? So this week, ESPN has relinquished 20 of their on-air personalities, including Max Kellerman, who is, like, let's be honest, dude, Max Kellerman appears in boxing films as a pundit. That's Max Kellerman, right? Max Kellerman is no joke whatsoever.
You were shocked by it, weren't you?
I really was. Max Kellerman, I always thought was bulletproof. Like, I saw a post that Andre Ward's now no longer part of ESPN. I don't know if he's left or he's one of the ones that's been laid off. Is Tim Bradley still about? I don't know. Like, is Jamel Herring still part of the crew? Who knows? But this is a product of an ever shrinking US boxing viewership, right? ESPN just can't afford to keep it going like they are, and that goes back to Cruz. So Cruz would have never ever fought anywhere near like what she fought Savannah on that card. She wouldn't have seen a crowd like that. She wouldn't have seen an event like that. And that's someone that's got all of the belts at that weight. she wouldn't. That's why she was probably so buzzing to be there. She probably had a record high payday. She probably had every single. She probably felt like an absolute star for the first time in her career, which is a blessing and a curse, obviously, because she took an L. We will probably never see her again.
Yeah, it just felt a bit flat afterwards. It just feels like, I mean, if you've got an opponent and everyone knocks them down, knocks them down, knocks them down, when you beat them, it means nothing because you've literally just went for the last month their shit. If she's coming in there and just happy to be there, even though she's got all the belts with her and she's just happy to be there, it doesn't undermine Savannah's win because she's won and she's got all the belts and that, but it just, from a fan's perspective, it just felt a bit weird. It didn't feel like she just beat a champion with 4 belts. I'm
with you, but that's just a product of a shallower pool of talent.
Yeah.
It's a product it's a product of what it is. The UK is now, and has been for about 18 months now, they can say whatever they want all over the planet, right? This is the spot. This is it now. This is where the stadiums are. This is where the big fights are. This is where the big promoters are. It's the UK. It's now a UK centric sport. This is the centre.
Even the Saudi fights that are going on, that's UK led, isn't it? It's UK promoters going over there.
For sure. It's UK promoters going over, having a word and saying, you want to fund this? And they go, yeah, sick, let's do it. Right? Anyway, back to the boxer card. Right, Ben Whittaker, I want to talk about him.
Go on.
It's hard not to enjoy Ben Whittaker. It's hard not to like his swag, his style, all of that stuff. It's very fun to watch, right? You need to be much more professional when you drink water. We will go over this on a workshop later, maybe on the Patreon. That's fact.
That's right. No more water for this episode.
No. You can have water. You just need to be better at it. Just be better. Right? When I do it, you can't even hear it. It's time and it's hours. It's hard yards. Anyway, Ben Whittaker's just like, I can see him getting knocked out cold. Honestly,
yeah,
I can see him getting absolutely and utterly just ham slammered by someone bad, and then we never see him again.
It's one of those ones where he's playing with fire because at the moment he's still 4-0, so he's still fighting journeyman.
Yeah.
Soon as someone comes over who's half decent who wants to scrap him, if he gets rocked once or twice or he's dancing around and gets hit, he is in trouble, and his stock can just go like that at any moment because of it. Because he would get memed like crazy.
Yeah, he's not Naz. Yeah, that's what this comes down to. He's not Naz. Like, Naz could do all of that stuff because at any moment, at any point, with 2 to 3 inches of leverage, he will knock you out cold. Right?
Because at the moment, if you could, we keep comparing him to Ezra. Ezra's got a lot more wins on his record now, but Whittaker was out injured for a while. So I think Boxer's goal at the moment should be to get his record up. But if he's kind of dancing around and, he's just gone 8 rounds with someone, he's not going to be on a card for a month or 2 now. If he kind of got him out first round, second round or whatever, he could have then probably been on the next Sky card or the one after that. And he could have just padded his record out a bit more.
He does need the rounds, and he does need the experience, and he does need all that stuff. And Sugar Hill would have been they would have been happy with it. And the thing is with Ben, because he's such a natural fighter and he's a style bender, is what he is. He's one of them ones. He makes it up as he goes along. He's a virtuoso. It's just that you can see the writings on the wall with him for some reason. There's just something.
Do you think? Obviously. Because Sugar hasn't complained about the dancing and all the showbiz stuff yet.
No, because you can't take away what makes him him. You can't take away the star power.
Do you think it'll get to the point where Sugar go, look, you need to take this one a bit more seriously. You can't be dancing around and that. This is a tough opponent. Do you think he's listening to him?
Yes, I do.
Yeah?
At this stage, come the point. Now, there's in the education of Sammy J. There's a documentary. What's that word? Documentary. That's the word.
Yep.
Yeah, it's been a long week. It's only Monday. There's a documentary on YouTube that I'll dig out for you about Prince Naz in the build up to fighting Marco Antonio Barrera. Okay, and I think it's called The Prince That Would Be King. Really good, really, really, really good. And then if you watch the fight afterwards, it gives you a little bit more context and a little bit more color. So at that point, Naz had left Brendan. He had then moved to Manny Stewart, who is obviously Sugar Hill's uncle, right? There will be so many crossovers when that happens, because I think by the time that you have that situation where Sugar has to say, you need to rein this in and sort this out, I think that it's going to be too far gone, much like what it was with Naz in that stage. So we're a while away from that. As Dan moves on, I would like to see him go for the British title route. Or, I mean, if he is this prodigal talent that Boxer are telling us he is, get him an area title. Come on.
Yeah.
It's like, are you too good for it? No, you're not too good for it. Get an area title. Go and get the English. Go and do any, like, let's go and do it this way. Let's if you're going to be this swagged out, you've also got to do it properly, and you got to do it the hard way as well. Like, you can't just dance your way through this. I don't know. I think everyone used to hate Naz. Everyone used to tune in just to watch him lose. And he obviously only ever did that once. Ben doesn't have that yet, but I think it's going to go that way pretty soon. And that's, I mean, you're one of those young people. What's your vibe on him? Because he's much more in line with your style. Like, Ian will hate him. He will not vibe with Ian.
I mean, personally, like, you know, all the showbiz stuff, like, I don't mind at all. Like, my job's to sell fighters, and it makes it 10 times easier when they've got personality and they're not afraid to show it. Mm-hmm. I'm not a big fan of it in the ring, though. No. I'm not sure if it it does come across as arrogant, and I don't know. I'm not a big fan of it in the ring. I just feel like it should kind of almost be two kind of personas. You have your outside of the ring, you know, how you do in the media, you know, all the showbiz side, and then when you go in the ring, it should all kind of be business. Yeah, exactly, like Floyd. And I feel like it's a lot more marketable, because as soon as, you know, if he dances around, gets caught, gets KO'd, there's not really any going back from it. Like, that's always going to be there, especially in this world where, you know, everything's on social media and on the internet now. I'll have mates coming up to me go, oh yeah, did you see that guy that was dancing around on Sky and he just got knocked clean out? Yeah, like, oh yeah, that's Ben Whitaker. Like,
well, let's see, because I'm way too old to be investing much time in fighters like him at the minute, because, like I say, you know, Naz is obviously an inspiration to him. We've seen him come out giving it the red rat. We've seen the Adidas. We've seen the leopard poncho, etc., etc. Naz is an icon in British boxing, an icon in boxing. He made he made the lighter weights marketable. It was him. Yeah. Before that, no one cared.
Was Naz in the early starts of his career, you know, first 4 fights like Whitaker, was he as flamboyant and as show busy?
Worse.
Okay.
100%.
It's not something he grew into. He was like that from the start.
Yeah, he would. There's one fight where Naz is factually dancing in the middle of the ring, like not grooving a little bit. He's giving it the footwork.
Yeah.
Like to the point where they stopped the round early because it was such a liberty that he was doing it. So he was dancing, give him a little two-piece, dance, give him a little two-piece. Like, but if you had a little bit of a look at Naz highlights and then saw what Ben is trying to do, this is the problem, is that when, as British boxing fans, when you see someone trying to put their own spin on a legend, it never sits well.
Yeah.
Ever. And it sits even worse when it's their son or some relative to them, which Whitaker is not. So at least it is an homage. But let's see, right? That's all we can do. Let's see what happens with Ben. He is in arguably the hottest division in boxing, 1A, 1B with lightweight. Light heavyweight is ferocious. I can't see anyone at British level at the minute that he does anything to. European, nope. Commonwealth, no. World, come on, mate. behave.
I mean, we've
And
just done we've
I
just
know
done
you're
a
only
tier
four
list,
fights
haven't
in.
we?
Exactly. Tier list,
It's
at Fighting Words on the YouTubes. Comment, like, rate, review, etc., etc. Anywho, let's see what happens with young Ben. I would like to say that I was a little bit gutted to see Zach Shelley lose a unanimous decision.
yeah. I didn't even see that till I was looking at it today. Like,
Yeah, a little bit gutted. Zach will be back, hopefully.
yeah,
I hope that this doesn't really mark, because he is a really fun fighter to watch. He really goes for it, and he's a fan friendly kind of guy.
that's all we've said about him, wasn't it? Like after his, I mean, we keep going back to fight camp when he got screwed out of a win. Since then, every fight he's gone for the knockout, and then once again he's lost on the points. So you would expect next fight he comes out guns blazing, and he's going to try and rip someone's head off.
Fact. Natasha, beast, wins by knockout. Sure,
Yeah.
Another world title.
She
considering
pieced that girl up.
Her it's not even a resurgence. Her trajectory change has been phenomenal. Like, who can say that they had like back-to-back world title challenges? Arguably won one of them, got a draw, got razored out.
She's
and then
benefited.
She just goes,
She's benefited so much off the Boxer Sky deal. Like when obviously Matchroom and that left and Boxer came in, she's benefited so much because I think all her title wins pretty much come after that. Yeah,
she deserves it. Honestly,
yeah, no,
she deserves
100%.
it. She's wicked. So now she's a 2-weight world champion. Good for Natasha. Callum Simpson, get there again. A good win. They do a very good job of hyping these guys to the point where they have to give them a live challenger, and then it's too much too soon.
Yeah,
Because it wasn't that long ago where like Mr. Simpson was being hailed as like the heir apparent to super middleweight, and it's just like, hold on, let's chill, because
let's just calm down a bit. You're 12 and 0.
You're 12 and 0. Like let's relax, mate. Right? Let's chill. Should we move to ESPN? Russia matey, Arslan Morgarabalahudubok, beast.
Makhmudov.
Yeah,
they did the whole Canadian flag next to his name because but it's the first time I've seen him. He's a monster.
He really is.
He's an absolute monster. I mean, Martin, Sporting Icons, did a video after it saying he's the true boogeyman of the heavyweight division.
He may very well be.
He's a beast, and he wasn't technically the best, but he was like not dirty, but he was like animal. I'm trying to think what the word is.
It reminds me of Drago from Creed 2.
Yeah,
it's exactly what he is. He's Drago from Creed 2.
Yeah, I was going to say like unconventional. Like he was like
he's unconventional.
He's just getting involved with it. But he knocked out Nigerian mate. He was 15 and 0 at the time with 14 knockouts.
That's what it is, isn't it? Okay, we need a chat about Big Baby, Mr. Jared Anderson. So I was chatting to one of my many Instagram friends, Mr. Longo. And he is very... Listen, who have they got in the US as heavyweight prospects? It's just Jared. It's just Jared.
Yeah.
They got that Sanchez... They got the dude
Sanchez from Puerto Rico.
No, the dude that wears the crop tops. Whatever his name is. But it is just Jared Anderson. That's all they've got. And it was a step up to fight Charles Martin. Cool. Look what AJ did to Charles Martin. One shot done. Right? And that's a Charles Martin that's been battered a few times since then. I think that Jared, if he is to be what they want him to be, I think they need to buy him a plane ticket. I think they need to send him over to Morecambe.
Oh, 100.
Morecambe. They need to send him, or they need to send him down to Texas with AJ and TKV and the crew, who's out there again, by the way. They need to uproot him and get him out of where he is now, because he is only 23. the last thing that you want is another Dan Dubois situation, because yes,
Yeah.
Dan Dubois is a regular world champion, whatever. That ain't lasting long, is it? Let's be honest. And we've seen him take 1.5 L's already. You can't, like Fabio destroys Jared now. Fabio does. Yeah. Yeah. And you know what Fabio does? Because I think Fabio hits a lot harder than people expect him to. And he's a lot more awkward than people expect him to. Jared's a big boy and he's got good power, but it wasn't enough to keep King Charles down. Like, he made it to a decision.
I think that fight's going to benefit him a lot because he made a lot of mistakes that fight. I mean, even towards, if the last round was maybe 20 seconds more, he might have been in trouble because Martin did catch him right at the end.
Yeah.
That was the longest he's ever got. I mean, the majority of his fights ended second, third round, KOs. He'd only gone, the furthest he'd gone, he had 1 4-rounder and he had 1 6-rounder. He needed to get the rounds in, and he made... No, 100%.
Good fighter, and he's a quality prospect.
I think he made not every mistake because he didn't get knocked down, he didn't KO, but he made a lot of mistakes in that fight. Still came away with a win against an experienced fighter. He's now going to go away and he's going to work on X, Y, and Z. There was a few times where he got caught, and I think he'll get a lot better out. It's like when you say with Dens, like Dens' losses to Cash and Jennebeck were like really good for him because he can learn from it. Like the Cash fight transformed his career. This is a good learning fight for him. He's still walked away with a win. And also, you don't want him to be in a position like Deontay, where, because Deontay didn't really have, or still doesn't really have, apart from the Fury fights, a big resume.
No.
If Jared can get these fights in now at 23 years old, where he's fight, Charles Martin is a name.
Yeah, but bring him over.
Takes those steps up. Yeah, no, 100%. Bring him over. Start getting him to fight the British guys. But it really depends on how much they want to kind of wrap him in cotton wool, really, doesn't it?
Yeah, it does. How do you feel about Canelo versus Charlo? It's a bit left field, wasn't it? Especially that Charlo. I was expecting big Charlo, not little Charlo.
It's. I mean, what's the Aussie called? Tim
Tszyu.
Tim Tszyu. I think he said it best when he was like, Charlo's ducking me, Canelo's ducking Bivol.
Yeah.
So now they're fighting each other. Like, I mean, it's a historic fight, isn't it? It's the first. Is it the first undisputed versus
It's the first 4-belt versus 4-belt undisputed versus undisputed. But there's a weight division in between them.
Yeah.
Charlo's light middle undisputed, and Canelo's super middle undisputed. And
do you think it's getting a big fight for Canelo? I mean, obviously, Canelo's coming off a loss. Is it getting a big fight for Canelo, which has got the headlines, obviously, for that reason, without it being
it will sell
like an out of field risk?
It will sell because Little Charlo and Big Charlo, they are the archetypal US fighter. They're flashy, they're loud, they're mental, they talk wild, they're covered in gems, they're covered in belts. They are everything that you would want. If you just dropped $100 million on a 3-fight deal with Canelo, you want to be making that money back as soon as possible. And you want to be doing that with a pay-per-view that is going to sell. Now, they probably have said to Little Charlo, like, hey, do you go mental, really, really push for this. We've got you this fight. You're probably going to get a career high payday and an opportunity to now be a 2-weight undisputed champion overnight. Respect. But you got to earn this. And
I mean,
he's big. Like, he's going to be a lot. Like, Little Charlo is not little, right? He's a twin. And the other one is massive. I think he's got to be 6'1". He will tower over Canelo. Like, tower over him. Canelo's 5'8", 5'9". He's like my height. It's going to be quite a weird.
It's the first time Charlo's fought in ages as well, isn't it? I'm just trying to find it now.
Charlo fought Castano, didn't he? I haven't seen. He hasn't fought since, I don't think. Since he become undisputed.
May last year, so it's been over a year.
Yeah. I mean, again, these all work in their favour, so it's a complete win-win for PBC, right? PBC,
Yeah.
Canelo takes an L. We've seen Canelo take L's before. Who cares? It's if Charlo wins, he's been a PBC asset for a long time. It just ups his market value so much more. And then you have go on.
Any fight with 8 belts on the poster, with Canelo's name on the poster, with pay-per-view, it's gonna sell. It's gonna do well for that reason.
On Mexican Independence Day, US versus Mexico, of course it is. It's gonna smash it.
Where is it? Have they said where it is?
It'd be Vegas, mate.
Yeah.
Yeah, it'll be Vegas. It'll be Vegas or Staples Center or something. Yeah, it won't be the Garden.
No.
Nah. The New York is much more Puerto Rican than it is Mexican.
Okay.
So if you're going to be selling, you want to be south.
Yeah.
Anywho, is there anything else news wise?
I
don't think there is.
Joyce Zhang's been announced.
Yeah. Like cool. Again, cool. I stand firm that this time Joyce is him. I don't think he's not allowing that to happen again.
Joyce's comments have been brutal recently.
Go on.
Everyone, all the marketing's basically on revenge or repeat, and everyone in the comments is just saying repeat. It's just going to go the exact same way.
I mean, I can see them saying that. I can see why they would say that, and I can see why they think that. But I was pretty shocked last time because I thought that Joyce was going to just like bludgeon him.
Yeah.
I didn't think Zhang had the pop to hurt him, and he wobbled him, but he didn't really hurt him.
I was devastated when I got the notification through in a nightclub in Magaluf. I was not happy. I was gutted.
I bet you were. Did you go up to the DJ booth and at that point say, "Can I please have No More Pain" by Mary J. Blige?
Maybe.
Did you swing it into maybe trying to lay with a young woman and just drown your sorrows in?
Woo! That can't go on YouTube.
Why can't it? We're past the window. Maybe you woo that then.
You can sign off now.
Patreon.com/fighting words. Market Squawk, X-Brain. Love you all. Bye.